3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Midnight Chimera. I have a new 7 Days to Die build for you I'd like to share with you. This is Alpha 11.6. Alpha 12 is supposed to release very soon, so I'm going to do this build video now. There were a few other things that I wanted to do before Alpha 12 released and washed everything out, but I decided to just do the video now. So there may be some aesthetic amenities that are missing that I would have added in ideally, but I'll just give you a tour as is. So this is a transition from my last major build. The last major build I did with my friend Justin, the Gothic Fortress. This one is now on our private server, and we have accumulated a group of dedicated gamers to play on this server. Originally it was me and Justin, Osei, Jeremy joined us. Now we have Ken, Karen, and Brooke as well. Possibly some new ones, new members coming up soon. As usual, we are playing with normal crafting time. There's no cheating, no easy way out. Normal crafting time. All the settings are pretty much maxed out to make this the hardest that you can play on. Right now the settings are as hard as you can be in every area that I can think of, except for the zombies are not feral. 1 second. Hopefully there won't be any horde attacks while I'm trying to give you this tour. Now there's several different areas of our collective town here. Some of them were not made by me. I will show you what I did, and if you want to see any of the other areas, I'm going to be doing shorter, well, some of them are shorter, some of them won't be, but I'll be doing other videos with the builders of those other areas that we will describe those areas to you if you're interested. I apologize for the frame rate. It's really hard to not get the frame rate to drop when you are building areas this big. Especially with all the cameras and torches, they'd really drop it. And trees. I have a habit of planting trees. Okay. Welcome to our humble abode, our village, our sanctuary. I'm going to just stop from time to time and give you some static views because the frame rate is so poor. So when we started this build, Justin requested to build on the side of a cliff or by a lake. And we found this spot, which is both. We have both cliffs and the lake. And I came over here. There was a little pillar sticking out of the lake, and I accidentally dropped my land claim block right next to the pillar because I was just being stupid and not paying attention. So I started building here. This is the first main structure of the town. It's called the bunker. This is now a community area. At first, the bottom part was a community area, and it was not as well designed. It was not as well furnished as it is now. It was much more basic. I improved it tremendously as we were going along. These gun ports were Obviously, that wall was not out there at the time. These gun ports were designed to be able to shoot off attacking zombies. None of those buildings out there really existed when this bunker was put in. So this was just the basic first fortification. Eventually, I built onto it. I added this as an armory. In the armory here, I am the self-proclaimed gun and ammunition, well, weapons and ammunition dealer for the community, and so I have some things for trade. We also have community weapons that are free for anybody in here. Guess I probably shouldn't keep open flames in an armory, but oh well. Over here, and this area was originally locked off because it was my personal space, but I eventually just made it public when I moved out, and I'll show you that later. Down this hatch, and if anybody watched my previous build with the Gothic Fortress, you know that I have a thing for realism. I like to try to imagine what it would really be like in a survival situation, even though it's completely fictional, and just go for that realistic feel. So I put a little reservoir down here, a water reservoir, so that you can get fresh water without having to go outside of the fortress. And the zombies are very well known for bashing their way in through these walls, because on the other side is the lake, and they come up to the lake, they come up from the lake, attack this wall, as you can see right here, attack this wall, and bash in and flood this area, which is wonderful. I've used the bucket to get the water out of this area many times. It's very irritating. I kind of gave up on it for a while, and then just cleaned it out again just to show you for this video. Close that out. And we can close this as well and go directly up to the next level. As someone recently said, this building is a little bit confusing, so don't feel bad if you're disoriented when I'm going through it. They're not all like this, don't worry. I put that floor in there because I kept falling to my death. That was not fun. Didn't have the hatch down there either. This is a little balcony out here. Both sides of the fortress, or the bunker I should say, not the fortress, the bunker here are symmetrical. They both have entrances and they both have these platforms that connect to the main wall. This area, this door opens up right here. And connects to the main fortified wall. These reservoirs down there, additionally, they're water reservoirs for realism. Originally, when I started building this wall, I built it right through the lake, and so I had a large amount of water that was in here, kind of cut across where the cursor is showing right now, and I decided, well, you know, why not just keep the water, make a nice water reservoir here so there's even more water on this side of the wall. So I did that, and then I pulled all the water out of this area and made it more unnatural looking, more man-made looking. Put these bars in so that early on, when this is the main fortress, we had a big problem with them attacking both of these side fortifications, so I put in these bars which allowed us to fire directly down upon them. And then eventually I connected up here. Excuse me. And this is the top. I call this the command and control center, even though there's really no controls to... oh, look. They destroyed one of my... that was symmetrical. They destroyed an ice stand and a chest. Spawning issues. Yes, this game still has spawning issues as far as the zombies. Apparently they destroyed one there too, I believe. So they'll spawn inside of buildings. They spawn inside your walls. So the next build that we're doing, we're not planning to have these big, huge towns with giant walls, because it doesn't really matter. They'll spawn right on top of your buildings. So that's very irritating. I designed this so you could look straight down. The plan was that if the bottom was breached, you could go up to the next level or up to the next level and still defend and fire down on the zombies that were down there. And early on, that did actually happen several times. It didn't get out of control, but the bottom of the bunker, the very bottom, was breached many, many, many times. It's very irritating. Gun safe, storage, usual. Out here is a little patio area. And this connects to that section, which I will explain later. Oh, the lag. Forgive me, the lag is killing me right now. Okay. Up this ladder. This is what I call the Master Forge. In here, you can forge... Oh, and they got in here and broke one. You know what? It just never fails. Yeah, so they spawned on top of this. They came in here and busted some stuff. There was another forge right there, and these are all set up to forge different things. The idea here is that's a smokestack. That was what I was going for. That's why there's torches at the top to make it look like there's flames. Didn't have the exact effect that I wanted, but you do the best you can with what you're given. Oh, there is this area. Very simple. Just a ledge out here that you can go around the outside for maintenance or defense. Gives you a nice view of the setup we have here. While I'm up here, I may as well explain. My building ends right there. Justin's build goes up there. Jeremy's build is up there. Osei's is over there, and that was originally part of my build, and now it is Ken and Karen's. Done with the bunker. We'll walk you around the perimeter wall. Went for a neo-medieval kind of look here, obviously with the battlements. This section was originally supposed to be much nicer, much more elaborate, but I just kind of finished it up with these bars and put this floor in just yesterday because Alpha 12 is coming out soon, and I figured I'm not going to even bother with going crazy with the original plans for this. I just wanted to get it done as something for now. Just part of the perimeter defenses, essentially. This small tower for sniping. Justin's build is covered extensively in another video, so if you're interested in anything from this part to the north, and the vast majority of it is actually underground. There's an elaborate bunker that he built. There will be a video outlining all of the extensive work that he did on that. This here, I started to make more interesting buildings. I thought I don't want to just make fortifications. I'll make, here's a bunker, you can go and fight it in, put your stuff in a chest, whatever. I want to make something more interesting. So I made the infirmary. This is actually designed to be a place, obviously where injured or sick people would go. That's why there's the cross out front. Have a double wall or double door system here, so that it's more easy to defend. And right here we have the sick beds. Essentially, they all have nightstands, chests, etc. I made this specifically out of concrete so that it would be more defensible for people that may be less inclined to be able to defend themselves. Up here in the attic, we have you'll have to forgive the chat up there. That's obviously the server's active right now. Up here we have we have some storage in the attic, and over here some secret storage chests and a little window you can see out of. Now back downstairs, some more supplies, which have been beaten because the zombies have been in here. I have 2 rooms here. Oops. That's 1. And here's a second. I'll let you guess what they're for being that they're an infirmary. If you guessed isolation chambers, you'd be correct. And down here, I dug through. I wanted to make the whoa glitch out. There you go. You can see from the underground. Isn't that amazing? I wanted to create a direct link between the infirmary and the bunker, so that in the hypothetical situation that there were sick people in the infirmary and they had to get to the bunker, that they could do so in an emergency situation safely. So I built this little tunnel to connect, and it has a trap in it. The idea is you can go from the infirmary, open this door, close it behind you, run over here, and get the zombies' attention, and they'll fall down the spikes. This has actually been effective several times when they've been able to break into the infirmary and have led them down into that spike pit. Off to the side, you may have noticed a little branch here. It's there for a reason. Just in case somebody gets out of line. So in here, uh-oh, it's very dark. In here, we have, the basics for your prisoner. We have your old bed, a nightstand filled with goldenrod flour, venison stew, and bottled water, a chair to sit in, and a trough here for excrement and waste. Put the candle away before it completely crashes the game. Okay, and if you come back up in here, this is the bottom of the bunker. So that's a direct connection between the infirmary and the bunker. I designed these little platforms here with the ladder coming down, as you see, so that if zombies were able to make it this far, it doesn't matter now because the ladder connects, but there used to be the bottom rung of the ladder was not connected, so they couldn't climb it, but it was causing glitch injuries where you'd get on the ladder and die. So I just connected the ladder. But the idea was that you could go down here and fire down on enemy zombies that were coming in while they were trying to get at you. Okay, so let me just get out of the bunker again and move on to the next building that I put together. It's been a lot more fun building on the private server for a lot of reasons, as you might imagine. Not just being able to control the settings, but being able to control if they reboot the server, if it's going to be reset, if somebody's going to attack you or just be an ass and destroy your stuff, like happened to a lesser extent in my last major build. So it's been very nice to have that kind of freedom. Right here is what I call the commons. This is common area that anybody can use. So anything that's in the chest here is stuff that people have just put here for the community. You can take whatever you want. That's obviously a cooking area. That's a foraging area anybody can use. Back here is an area that I never put anything on. I don't remember exactly what I wanted to put there, but I do know that I wanted to put something there. Down here is what Ose calls the repository of knowledge. And we have, if it'll let me walk down the ladder, thank you. We have chests down here that are filled mainly with books. For people that were new to the server and they would log on and need to be able to make a forge or whatever. Over here is the barn. This is another thing that I made. Everything that I'm showing you, like I said, are buildings, structures that I've built. So inside the barn, this is designed to be a communal area, just like the infirmary. I didn't mention the medical supplies that are located in the infirmary are for anyone's use. And this is a communal area for food and water, food and drink. So to make it as accurate as possible to looking like a barn, first of all, there's no open flame in here because there's hay everywhere. I left this opening here because oftentimes in barns you do have an opening so the hay bales can be lifted into the loft. but this is just for food storage. I guess this obviously is completely not necessary to make a barn to put your food in, but in a real survival situation, this would be necessary. So I said, why not just go for realism and have fun with it? Down here is the only source of light in the barn, which I felt was safe because it's not in a flammable area. Second story, lots of hay up here. Lots of storage chests. Oh, and this area. If anybody's familiar with old barns, they used to put a pulley system with, I don't know the proper term for them, but basically large claws that would grab the bales and pull them up into the barn. So I kept it like that for realism. The very top is an attic space. Just like in the infirmary. I kind of like these attic spaces because they feel so cozy and tucked away, like nobody can get to you, like you're safe up here from the zombies. And here's a little secret. Secret chest with nothing in it. I just like to do stupid stuff. I like kind of just looking out through the window from the top. Not like I spend a lot of time doing that, but whatever. Okay. Go down. Again, I apologize for this massive lag. It's really annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's not my hardware, I assure you. Outside, we have this little fenced-off area. There's a cornfield on one side. And over here, we have blueberries growing and also a field of potatoes. We've been pretty good at replanting these fields so that we can have continuous food coming in from them. I also put in these windows and awnings over the windows. This is, I said, that's Jeremy's build. That's Osei's build. That's also Osei over there. There was originally a mountain that went from around there to about there, and it was infested with a certain zombie termite, let's say. So I destroyed that mountain. I spent a good amount of effort doing that and just getting it out of the way. You'll notice that there's one spike standing straight up here. That's because there was a bird's nest up there, and apparently a bird's nest cannot collapse, so all the stone underneath it just stayed there. Weird physics. Actually, a very large section of the mountain was not connected to anything, and it refused to fall down until eventually I think a zombie smacked it and fell over, go figure. This section right here is what's called the Old Commons. Now, I built this. I built it into the mountain a little bit, and I built about right there, that second level and the first level. Then Karen and Ken joined our server, and he extended this very large section on the top, and a spike pit and some traps, etc., etc. I will feature that in another video. You may be wondering what this red thing is here with the candles, the torches on it. And that is a shrine. Now, I got the idea last week that maybe in a situation like the zombie apocalypse, it would be the case that unusual religions might form. So this is the cult of Atharu, or I should say this is the shrine to Atharu. And some of us are members of the cult of Atharu. And Atharu is the god of cleanliness and virtuous hatred. And what that means essentially is, and what the basis of the entire cult is, that the zombies are called the Defilers. They have infested and infected this world with uncleanness, and they must be purged and destroyed with as much violence as possible. So this is the shrine to honor Atharu. And if you go down inside the bottom of the shrine, you find this little well-lit area. And this is where you can put offerings. Offerings in the form of bones. Bones. Animal fat. Corn on the cob apparently is also an offering. Rotten flesh. And beer, of course. The idea here, and I developed this entire ideology myself, but the idea was that rotting flesh, bones, and animal fat being deposited as offerings would satisfy Atharu because it shows that we are cleaning the world of the defilers. So there's the idea behind that. I'm not responsible for making these fields here, but they are beautiful. They're very nice to look at. I am responsible for building this graveyard, however. I thought that would add a touch of realism to the game if we had an actual graveyard. So I put this in here. And we've planted flowers, trees, to make it look nicer. This is part of the defense system, obviously. This is the southwest tower. Right now, one of our players, Brooke, is using this as a shelter. Just basic storage inside. You can go down. You can go down here. It's got like a little crawl space area. You can go up top. Or not. Oh. Oh no. What is that? Okay, let's not do that again. Don't glitch out, please. Oh, for the love of God. There's so many glitches in this game. Alright. We'll do it this way. Okay, so there's this wall right here. The southwest wall. I built this as well. You can't see anything because of the trees right now, but just wait a second. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright. There. So this is just a little corner wall installed for added defense. These trees really lag the game badly. Trees, light, building, just in general. Oh, I didn't really show you too much of the battlement. So the battlement area up here, again, get another view of a different angle here. Just a little fortified area that you can shoot from. We haven't really had a lot of zombies attack this side, actually. There have been some that have gone through the side of the mountain over there where the wall meets the mountain, but other than that, it's been very light. The vast majority of the zombies come from the south and hit that tower. Thank you. They come from the south and hit that tower directly up there, which we're going towards now, or they come directly from the west and run over the top of this fortification, which is why, incidentally, it was abandoned as the original commons. But now it's been perfected because they run over the top and fall down on spikes for the most part. Or they come directly from the east and attack the wall all the way on the east. I guess I'll show you this part as well right now. This area, there's zombies coming. I'm going to make it quick. This is a little tiny garden shed area. I just wanted to make it be kind of cute over here. Little tower. It's not meant for me to be a residence or anything. It's just this. Come on. It's just this little miniature tower that I built. And right here is an arena. Oh, and there's chrysanthemums growing in the little fenced-in area. Right here is an arena, and we have not used it yet, but I really like the idea of it. That's why I built it, where players can go to do PvP, and we can place bets as either spectators or participants. Now, one player enters on that side, and another on that side. And this side, as you can see, where there is excuse me. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it be. Just leave it be. I don't want to cause trouble. So right here on this side is the previous victor's side. Whoever's victorious last time gets the reigning champion side. These are just seats to sit on for spectators. Down in the middle, each player starts here. There's this divider right here to make things a little bit more complicated. In addition to that, everything's symmetrical. In addition to that, you can go down here, and the zombies dug out a little bit here. It's supposed to have a ladder that comes down, apologize for that. And then in the middle, there's this water section, and you can go all the way down, and then you can also come out of the water, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And then on each side, there are these hallways. And in the middle, there are, there's places where you can kind of duck down like this, and hide. And I also intended to put in some chests filled with medical supplies or weapons or something like that, just to add flavor to the gladiator experience. So let's get back inside, because I hear them running around, and it's kind of disconcerting. Oh, the lag is horrible, horrible. Oh, out here, I put those torches around. I actually doubled up the wall, because they were getting into the bunker so badly. It was so awful that I doubled up the wall thickness to make it more resilient to the constant barrages. They're angry. Okay. There's a reason why there are 4 doors there. It's because the zombies are assholes. That's all you need to know. Down here we got another. Yep. Another little crawl space area. Okay. Up here, second story of this tower, I put in these little arrow slits so you could see out and shoot from here. And I made them more like gun slits on this side, just to be for decoration, for practicality. Maybe I should do something about this annoyance. Oh wow. Didn't actually piss off a bunch of other ones? Okay, amazing. Let's move on. So this connects over here, so you can see now how this whole perimeter wall connects. The entire one. I'll show you on the map. My section, the perimeter wall. So here, all the way down. This is the bunker. This is the tower. This is the other tower. It all connects and is one complete unit that can be fought from. Incidentally, if you look at the map, you can see how extensive our building is. I mean, you pan out all the way. That's as far as it goes, and you can very easily see the settlement. I mean, it's almost the size of one of these towns. All right. Now let's get to the fun stuff. It's all the basics, right? Anything else I need to show you that's basic? Oh, yes. Something very minor. Still. Up here, top of the battlements. I really do think that Atheru shrine looks sharp. I may just build another one and continue this weird cult of Atheru in the next build. So, is there anything else here? Okay, I think that's it for the stuff that I've made, at least for the major stuff in town. This is my building. Of course, you probably guessed it by now that I would be the narcissistic one to build the gigantic tower. That I originally made after another more impressive plan fell through because the game was glitching out again. Big surprise there, right? And I will explain that in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to show you the tower. And this tower is extremely, extremely resilient to attack. First, I've died dozens of times getting into my tower, so be warned, it may happen again. Let's hope not. You got to take a running start and jump. Yes. Okay. I did that, so there's no possible way that they can get in, except for the spider zombies. I did not make a completely effective defense against spider zombies, but I was well aware of that when I did it. I just didn't want to add to my design. Those spikes down there are very effective. When they're improved like that, they do a tremendous amount of damage, and they also, like, hardly ever get destroyed, so it's very, very helpful. This ledge wraps around the tower, so I often come out here and you can pick off enemies different positions as necessary. inside, mainly just storage, first level here. Going down to the next level. This is food storage, this area. It's all food storage or other related items. You notice that that area is blocked off. This is supposed to be the library area, but I didn't. There's no library. There's no bookshelves that you can craft, so I just built nightstands and stacked them. One of the other players on here used the administrative crafting privileges to make items that you cannot craft in game, so that he could use them for aesthetic purposes. I was going to do that as well, but time is just running out, and I'm honestly ready to move on from this build. So I just said, screw it. I'm not going to worry about making finishing touches. So, like I said, this is not completely ideal as how I want it to be, but it's close enough for now. You can get the idea of what I was doing. This is the armory section. I also have some medicine down here, but lots of weapons parts, ammunition, gunpowder, etc. Like I said, I'm kind of the arms dealer here, so I like to make sure I have a lot of stuff on hand in that regard. Down here is just a foundation basement. There's nothing in here. I figured I'd show you anyway. So let's move up. Go to the top floors. And I've still had zombies spawn on top of this. They've knocked out some of my roof. I got killed inside here a couple times, which is just asinine. This is a storage area. Up here is supposed to be the bedroom area. I still am kind of irritated that all you can do is make these urine-stained, blood-stained, sweat-stained beds. But what are you going to do about it? So I do the best of what I have. Put in some more storage. Nice time to be in this room with all the sunlight coming in through the windows. Up one more level, and we have. This is when it started glitching out, by the way. You know the glitch I'm talking about, the physics glitch. When you go up a certain height, blocks no longer will stay stable. This is when it started to happen. So there are battlements out here that you can defend from, although I've very rarely used them, honestly. Get a nice area. And I'll show you that. That's a radio tower that I built. I'll show you that one too. Get a very good view from up here. This up, and we can go up another story. Just a very small room up here. Really not a function to it other than just holding up the roof. And then finally, roof access. Now the physics glitches out. If I go and walk on the edge there, those shingles will fall down. They can't support any weight. And that is the kind of problem that this game suffers from still. And I want you to take note of something. Keep it in mind for later if you're still watching at this point. Right here, I'm having physics glitch problems. Now keep in mind how much taller I am than that building over there. And I'll explain that in just a few minutes, is why that's important. I'll take a quick look while I'm up here, just to give you kind of a view. You can see just how much work has gone into this, and from everybody involved. I mean, Justin and I have undoubtedly done the bulk of the building on this server, but everybody's really invested a lot. And again, normal crafting time, hard difficulty mode. We're not not cutting any corners with this, so it's all legit. Sorry about that. There we go. My interface back up. Come on. All right. Drop down. my build for the next for when Alpha 12 comes out, my build is going to be very different. And I've the past two builds, I've learned a lot about this game. I mean, the first one I learned a lot, and the second one, the first build, I should say, back when I was playing on, I don't know, was it 7 or 8 or something, about a year ago this time. I learned a lot about glitches, like backpack glitches. Hey, anybody know that one? I've lost my backpack. It's exploded about, I don't know, maybe 50, 75 times for this build. We've been playing for 2 months. Yeah, just when you die, your backpack just poof, explode. Everything you have in it, gone. I'm really irritated that the devs are not doing something about that. I mean, it's completely intolerable, but we do the best we can. We have, for people who have had exploding backpack syndrome, we have admin crafted in items that were lost. I don't consider that cheating because it's a glitch. Yes, this one. Radio tower time. But yes, there's many glitches. It still needs a lot of work. There's a lot that can be done, but it's still a very fun game to play. So we do the best we can to get around the glitches. And blah blah. Excuse me. For that. Thank you. Okay, so I'll just give you a hint as to my next build. I am intending to build a compact, not necessarily small, but compact and elaborate kind of medieval castle-like structure. Yeah, I know, I'm going for medieval, a big surprise there. But I want to build it with a star fort underneath it. And if anybody knows anything about Renaissance military tactics, you may find that interesting. That is my intention. So here's a radio tower that I built. It is really high up there. And again, everybody knows by now, if you've watched any of my videos, I try to go for that realism. And I thought, hey, if we're at like the point now where we have an established town, if it were possible to build a radio tower and power it, we could maybe find other survivors and bring them here, and we could establish more secure of a base, more close to civilization. So I built this radio tower out of the metal trussing, and it's just got a very small room in here. This Ken built this. This goes into his bunker, what was formerly the old commons, and then it opens up out here. I guess the bird's nest disappeared that was up there. Very interesting, but the the rest of it is still there. So I am going to show you something else since I'm up here, because you may be wondering. Something. This right here is it's an amusement park ride. So yeah, you know what? I'm just going to save that for the end of the video, and then I'll show you something nifty if you want to stick around for it, because I like to do really psychotic things in this game sometimes. I built it. I flooded this. This was originally just kind of a trap we fell into. Then it turned into a grove because I built trees around it everywhere. And then built a tunnel into it because people were falling, or built the tunnel first, then I made it to a grove. Then I flooded it and put a wall in over there, part of a wall. Anyway, probably what everybody is, at this point, sticking around to have any curiosity about is this gigantic Roman aqueduct-looking thing and that very large monument, a Greek-looking building over there with all the columns. All right, so this is a tribute to the glitchiness of this game, and I'm just I was very disheartened, because I was building a very impressive structure over here, and had to completely abandon it after about a week and a half, 2 weeks of preparation work, and just very, very, very disheartening. And I will take you over there the proper way across the aqueduct. And it's that glitch that I was talking to you about before. It is the glitch that... the physics glitch. I mean, I don't know which is worse, the physics glitch or the exploding backpack glitch. They're both just... they're time wasters. That's the thing that really gets them, because they waste your time. When it glitches out like that, it is so disheartening. So this is not actually meant to be an aqueduct. This is meant to be just a bridge. As you can see, there's no water in it. I used the Roman aqueduct architecture, obviously, but I wanted to connect this. This was going to be what that tower ended up being. It was going to be my personal home, but the glitch prevented it from being so. And this was going to be a very impressive structure. What you're seeing now, it was just the base for it. It was supposed to be about 3 or 4 times higher than that, maybe even more. I went out to a good location in the lake where I felt that it was pretty decently deep water. Incidentally, there's a pocket of, there's like a basement area underneath that foundation that has some water in it, and a bunch of supporting columns, quite a few. This took a considerable amount of concrete, considerable. So right here, at this level, the glitch prevented me from making ceilings and roofs. I cannot build any horizontal shelves of any kind here. They just fall instantly. And you can see that it's not even that high. Really, it's not high at all. It's very difficult to gauge when the glitch is going to happen and when it's not. And I'll illustrate that right now. Just watch this. Let's take a candle. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? Yeah, so let's try something else. Let's take some stairs. Oh, amazing. So you can't build anything. You can't build anything. Here, maybe you think it's just candles and stairs. Oh, try a real building material. Try something like really good. Yeah. Hey, how about it? So nothing works. Nothing. That one works. Why is that? You know why? Because it's connected to another block. The more you go up, the more blocks need to connect to it exponentially. Now on this side, wow, it works. Isn't that fun? Isn't that funny, right? Does it have something to do with the window? No. Oh, maybe it does in that instance. Try it here. Watch this. See? Fine. Completely fine. Try it over here. See? It's like there's like no rhyme or reason to it. It makes absolutely no logical sense. I don't know why, but it gets worse and worse and worse the higher you go up. I could not build... Hold on, I gotta take care of the trash. It gets worse and worse and worse as you go up, and I couldn't build it, so I had to abandon this entire thing. And this is what it was going to be. So down here, this is just the base. This is not even the structure that I was... the impressive part. This is just going to be the first floor, not even building anything here. This is all just columns and supports, just to look fancy. Actually, wish it was kind of dark now that you can see how amazing it looks in the candlelight. Go back up here. What this was supposed to be. Right here, there was going to be hallways connecting into a few rooms that are connected to stairs that would go up to the next story. The next story, there were going to be luxury rooms, bedrooms, storage rooms, spa rooms, pools. I was going to have large sky gardens, large planters made out of concrete with trees and shrubs and whatever growing in them, and it was going to stack layer upon layer very, very high and just be a very luxurious temple-like structure, but for residing in. And that was going to be my personal kind of heavenly abode. But, you know, the game screwed with me. So now it's just a monument to nothing. And the zombies spawn on here all the time just to taunt me. And then they walk across the bridge and attack our base. So, very irritating, as you can imagine. All that time and effort put into that. So what I said was, screw it. I got so disheartened. I said, well, I'm just going to make a little tower in here. The bunker's public property anyway, so I'm just going to make a little tower over here, and that'll be my thing. And then, of course, the little tower got a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and so I made this. I am very happy with this tower. I think it looks pretty badass. I wish it wasn't glitching out already at the top, but as soon as I saw it glitching, I'm like, okay, put the roof on. Put it on now. This is not even nearly as high as my Gothic fortress was, and that didn't start glitching out till, like, I think, twice as high as this. But anyway, I like the design, regardless. From a fortification perspective, the bottom layers are all double thickness, so they're incredibly tough. And then on top of that, let's see if we can do this right now. Okay, no sprained leg, hooray! The spikes are excellent. That down there, obviously, those are iron wall blocks. They're very resilient. So I don't think I've had to. I may have had to repair one once. They're very, very, very strong. With the kind of a ledge on top of that, so you can go in here. This thing I didn't show you. You can climb down here, and this is, you can actually see at the foundation, there is this crawl space, so you can go in here and repair anything that you would need to. But the defenses are very, very effective. And I went to great pains and efforts. Jump. Okay. To put in all those candle holders that are protruding out from the structure to give it that very Gothic look that it has about it. So I do like this tower a lot. I like it very much. It's very nice looking, aesthetically pleasing. It's just not what I had originally intended to build, and that's fine. I'm still glad that I made it, but I wish that they could fix the glitches in this game in that regard so we could really utilize it to its fullest potential. But anyway, I'm running long and rambling. I wanted to do a video so that I could really just show you everything that was done, give you the rundown on the build before it gets disintegrated by the update. I will release some more shorter videos, mainly shorter videos, except for Justin's build, which is really long. He did an excellent job, and I'm going to give you tours of the other players' structures as they would like me to. Oh, I forgot. I promised you something, and I have to deliver. So let me just put some things away while I'm talking to you. But yes, what was I going to say? Oh, going for this build. So just to sum it all up, this has been a fantastic build. Really brought a lot of people together. We're having a great time on the server. We're having a great time playing with each other. We're looking forward to Alpha 12 coming out. We're going to start another community. I'm going to do a completely different style of building for that. I think that we're all going to... We have a style planned out that I think will work well. And we're going to use that. And right now, we're all just getting wrapped up for the end, for the update. I think that this village is actually pretty good for the apocalyptic situation. I mean, we have our food storage, we got our farming. Jeremy's doing a little bit of farming as well. He's farming over here. It's a pretty well-defended system. Even we get hit with massive hordes. I mean, just non-stop fighting. We're still not really taking serious damage. We're pretty much wiping the floor. One thing that I would like to see is, again, just like in the build from last year, I know it's just in early access still, but things to consider. Something that would be really nice would be the ability to increase the difficulty as we advance through the game. And I think that one thing that would be very nice to be able to add to that would be, and would not result in lagging the game, would be zombies that are semi-boss-like. Now I know they have the dogs are difficult, the fat zombies are a little bit difficult, the police zombies are a little bit difficult, but if they added a few really difficult zombies, some kind of mutants, something big and really hard to kill, like maybe, nothing too off the wall, but maybe if some kind of a crazy mutant zombie came that was like 3 times the size of a police officer, and it took 20 or 30 rifle headshots to kill it. That, I think, could really add to the difficulty level and the terror level of this game. And that's something I really hope that they might add to the game. Of course, I'm not the devs, so I can't say anything. But I hope that they do. Now. Oh, come on. Don't get stuck in... So irritating. Okay. Now, I originally made this to kind of screw with people. As I often like to do when I when I play this game. But I took this amusement park ride for a few runs myself. Actually, more than a few. And you can see this is another great view. This is as tall as my tower over there. Okay. So, here's the idea. We'll see if I can get it accurately. Alright, here we go. Oh! That took a long time to make, by the way. So that just shows you how demented I am, that I actually invested it to make it. Everybody else thinks I'm crazy, which I am. Okay, alright, so enough. You've seen everything. The next build is going to be coming out, well, as soon as Alpha 12 starts, we're going to start working on it, so who knows when it'll be coming out for video, but we'll be working on it very soon. The next videos in this series, for this build, I should say, they should be here within a couple days. So if you're interested in them, most of them will not be as long, and I will introduce the other players to you. Thank you for watching. I may do a couple other short videos just showing different times of the day, just walking around the village very quickly. But if you have any questions about the build, any of the construction techniques, anything, etc., 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 just leave it in the comments. I'll get back to you, and hope you have a good time enjoying 7 Days to Die, or watching us spend ridiculous amounts of time on doing stupid things on the game. All right. Thank you. Have an excellent evening, night, morning, whatever.